Hey everybody, have you considered starting a podcast? We here at Screwball highly recommend Podbean for getting your podcast out to a larger audience. Podbean has given us the opportunity to easily bring you Screwball each and every week on all of your favorite podcast services. Use the link podbean.com/screwball to sign up and save up to 35% annually. You can also use the link podbean.com/pro/screwball to sign up for a business subscription. Happy podcasting. Hey everybody, welcome back to Screwball, a baseball podcast, your home for everything baseball. I'm your host Mike Lepre, here with my co-host Frank White.
Hey, how's it going?
This is episode 115 of Screwball, and this week, I hope everyone had a good 4th of July weekend. We're safe and enjoyed. We had a pretty good week of baseball, though. A little odd, as we kind of brought up in previous weeks, that some teams just didn't play 4th of July. It was kind of strange. But overall, a good week in baseball. Had some oddities, some firsts in baseball, which is kind of cool. But let's start with big news last week, kind of as the episode went live, probably, after we recorded, the whole Freddie Freeman situation. So last week during Freddie Freeman's emotional return to Atlanta, a report came out that Freeman had fired his agent from XL Sports Management due to a reported final offer made by the Braves that was not brought to Freeman. Now, the agent denies the report and claims that he was fully transparent with Freeman through all negotiations, but what really happened here? So, that's like the short version, but basically what happened was Freddie Freeman went back to Atlanta. It was very emotional for him. He was crying, I think, in the press conference, and shortly thereafter, I think even in the last game, it came out that he fired the agent because the Braves made a final offer that he would have taken, but he wasn't aware of. So, however that transpired while he was in Atlanta, he might have talked to the brass there, and they said, hey, what happened with this deal, however it transpired, but the agent denies that he wasn't transparent with Freddie Freeman, which is, I think the whole situation is kind of unique in kind of sports. Like, you don't often see a report where the agent didn't give an offer to a player, or at least wasn't, or there was some miscommunication there, especially with a thing like Freddie Freeman, who wanted to be in Atlanta. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm sure he's happy in LA, but his heart, you could tell his heart was in Atlanta. And then that sets up, you start setting up the what ifs with Matt Olson. Where does he fall? Does he then end up going to the Dodgers, or does someone else swing in and try to get him? So then you start to play the what if game. But I think it was a really unique situation that caught my eye, and I think that it sucks for Freddie Freeman and it's kind of an awkward situation for the Dodgers too, because the Dodgers kind of just swung in and got him because they wanted him, and they didn't do anything wrong. And now it kind of almost feels like, it feels weird for that organization too. It's like, well, did he even really want to be here? Then Freddie Freeman, does he really want to be here? So questions get brought up, but I thought it was worth mentioning because it was big news last week, and we didn't get to cover it. The second piece of news here, like I kind of mentioned at the top of the show, that there were some firsts in baseball this week. The Twins turned the first 8-5 triple play in history. So it's kind of hard to explain, but basically in a wild play on the 4th of July, this is how the play broke down. So Buxton made a catch for the first out where there was a man on first and second. The second out, he threw to Gio Urshela at third, and he tagged out Yohan Moncada, who was trying to get back to, I believe he was trying to get back to first. And then, yeah, he was the runner at first base when the play began. Then the third out is Urshela just ran over and stepped on second base to double off Adam Engel, who was already pretty much at home plate at that time. So Buxton makes this catch, and the runners were just going, so Urshela just caught the ball, tagged Yohan Moncada, tagged second, and triple play. So it was just an 8-5 triple play. I thought that was worth mentioning because it's rare that you get firsts like that in the game, and I just thought it was like, what more could go wrong for that team than a triple play, and an 8-5 triple play is unbelievable. So like I said, I thought that was just kind of worth mentioning. The third piece of news here regards Julio Rodriguez making history, another first in baseball. So with Monday's home run on July 4th, Julio Rodriguez hit his 15th of the season, and they made some more obscure history, I would say. Julio Rodriguez reached 15 career home runs and 20 career stolen bases in 81 games, which is the fastest of any player in history. So the 5 fastest to reach the 2 milestones are Julio Rodriguez now number 1, Ellis Burks second, he did it in 82 games, Cal Daniels in 88 games, Barry Bonds did it in 90 games, and Eric Davis did it in 91 games. So pretty good just with Barry Bonds and Eric Davis there, it's pretty good company. He did it faster than those guys. And for those that you don't really know, specifically with Barry Bonds, because we knew Eric Davis was a pretty fast and, power hitter. Barry Bonds, we kind of know him as the all-time home run leader and the big steroided out guy. But early in his career, he was a base stealer. I think he's only 500 guy, something like that.
I think he might be only 400.
Yeah. So Barry Bonds was a pure athlete for most of his career. So that's good company to be in. But again, I thought to see a first like that, or at least a young star of the game, kind of already reaching these milestones quickly, it was kind of cool. And Julio Rodriguez was a can't miss prospect. It felt like he was coming up, and it was like, here comes the Mariners' next guy. So
hopefully you could keep going, because we had Kelenic struggle so far.
Yeah, him and Kelenic were the two guys coming up, and the one's not very good right now, and the other one's really kind of leading the charge for the team. So worth mentioning.
Yeah, some news I got here to add. We had Nolan Arenado hit for the cycle again. Was, I guess, debatable single he got there in his last at bat, but hit for the cycle again. His last one, I believe, he hit the walk-off home run for Colorado to complete the cycle back in the day. We have the All-Star game coming up, so we see a lot of the voting kind of finishing in the first round of voting. Judge and Acuna, I believe, were the top, and you kind of see who those guys kind of already made the All-Star game, right? The first round of voting, those guys make it. Now are they going to be the starters, right? That's kind of where we're at with the new voting system. So we're kind of seeing how that plays out, but you're coming to the wire here on who's actually making the All-Star game, which is pretty cool. And then we have who's in the home run derby. No one yet. No one is announced. We had Judge say he's not going to do it. A couple guys say they're not going to do it. So we're only, I would say, a week, a couple days away from starting to really see who's going to be in the home run derby, which is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my last piece of news here kind of goes with the topic a little bit, I think, one way or another. And my last piece of news is just the Angels' dysfunction of whatever they're doing. Because Phil Nevin's been terrible for them.
Yep.
The team got more suspensions than they have wins. The team has not done anything since they got rid of Joe Madden. And the team has just been faltering. Injuries, not winning, embarrassing, suspensions with some of the most talent in the league. So I just want to bring up how he has not been helpful for the Angels, and he has just not righted the ship, made it worse. And that brings us to the topic a little bit. And are the players really... Do the players get left out more now with the finger pointing? Whose fault it is and what's going on? Because it is the managers and coaches and the GMs and things like that, but it's also on the players. They play the game.
Right.
So if you're just terrible, example we're going to use here is going to be Joey Gallo. He's terrible. How much is that coaching? The guy doesn't want to learn how to hit the ball. Or Chris Davis.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't care. They might try things, but they're not putting in their effort. Even maybe Sanchez with the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
Just wasn't putting the effort in where you can say this guy really wants to try changing something.
Right.
So how at some point it's the player's fault. Like, hey, you got to play better. You're the one getting paid millions of dollars. You're the one that has a career here, right? The back of your baseball card. You're the one that has to do something.
Yeah.
Manager only can do so much. The coaching can only do so much, right? I know we see with La Russa with the White Sox. They want to get rid of La Russa. Oh, well, he's the reason why they're not playing good. Is that the reason? Could it be a part of it? Sure. Tony La Russa is one of the best managers of all time, so I'm not really sure getting rid of La Russa is going to help. Look at the Angels. They got rid of Joe Madden and tried mixing things up. They got worse.
Right. Substantially
worse. So, then at that point, then what do? Well, we fired the manager. That didn't work. Well, then who's the next player? It's the players.
Yeah.
You got to pick yourself up and be better. Someone has to step up and be the leader. Someone has to step up and play better. And someone has to... accountability. You're getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. You could just not have a manager. And what happens? Okay, maybe the team suffers, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a shortstop, you can't win. You can't play.
Yeah.
You don't have somebody play on the field. You can't play. So the manager can only push all the right buttons and push all the buttons. Sure, he can cost you a win, maybe cost you a little bit. But the players, if I'm a 300 hitter and you're expecting me to hit 300 and I come out and bat 220, it's my fault.
Right.
I'm the reason we're losing. Not because the manager hit the wrong button because he pulled in Joe Smith to be the bullpen guy instead of, Billy. And that's not the reason why I'm batting 220. Oh, well, the manager should help him. Well, the managers and the coaches only do so much.
Agreed.
I think we're getting away in all sports of the players being at fault here and just the managers. Oh, this manager, we're not playing good. Let's just get rid of the manager. Sure, that's not. Listen, that's still an effective way to look at the Phillies.
Right.
But what that did was, hey, we got rid of the manager. You guys have been bad. And all of a sudden now, the point is back on the players. The Phillies even said that. Phillies players were like, hey, that was our fault.
Right.
It was a wake-up call. And then they stepped it up. But you have to put the pressure on the players. So I just wanted to bring that topic up, just because we do see a lot of where we're at with Gallo as an example. Whose fault is that? Coaches only can do so much. If the guy doesn't want to learn how to be a base hit hitter and try changing his swing and starting over, then, he's not going to ever get better.
Right.
And what's the manager going to do? Well, why do they play him? Why can't they send him down? You can't send him down. You pay him $20 million. You can't just send these guys, not play him, just waste a roster spot. He has to play. So you got to, you can't just, whatever. So the blame has to be on both sides here. But I think sometimes the players are just kind of getting away with it a little. Like, you're the one playing. Okay?
Yeah.
Like I said, you could just not have a manager. The game's still going to play. You have to, you got to play.
Yeah.
You got to win. Yeah, the manager's supposed to help you, put you in the right spot, and give you tips and coach you and do the things like that. But you got to be yourself. At some point, you're facing the other pitcher. You got to get a hit. What's the manager going to do with that?
Right.
Oh, I should have been batting second instead of leadoff. Like, what? You got to get a hit.
Yeah.
So at some point, the player has to step and be like, hey, I'm not playing good. I need to do something. Let me change something. Let me change this. Change my stance. Let me go to my hitting coach. Hey, let's try something. Hey, let's try this. Hey, my wind-up's off. Let's try this as a pitcher. There's things you could do instead of just beating your head out against the wall. I'm like, it's the manager's fault. It's the manager's fault you got a 6 ERA this year.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the fact that you just, didn't want to do nothing.
Yeah.
And, these guys are trying, right? I mean, I don't know about Gallo, but some of these guys are trying. Chris Davis, the reports for him. You didn't want to change your swing.
Right.
But then, it is what it is.
Yeah. That's on you.
So then, he's got to be, that's his fault. Don't go firing the manager because this guy doesn't want to listen. You see the White Sox too yesterday with the base run, and they calls that triple play. It was pathetic. Is that Tony La Russa's fault? What's he gonna do? He's not running the bases.
Yeah.
Oh well, they gotta know not to run. They gotta know not to run when there's not 2 outs on a fly ball. I think they should know that.
Yeah, I think that's basic baseball.
I don't think Tony La Russa needs to really be there telling them that.
Yeah.
Again, I think the Angels was a prime example of that. Joey Gallo, Chris Davis, guys like that in the past. Yes, the players, the managers, they have their own blame, right? But the players are just, it almost just seems like they're just getting, like, hey, this team's struggling, what's going on? And it's almost like, well, he's having, but you got to remember this guy. Like, it's almost a quick, like, oh, we're not playing that guy, but the manager. Like, it's almost like a quick push-off to the manager, to the coaching.
Right.
I can't be. Oh, the players have to be responsible, and they have to take, respect on what goes on. They're in control of other people's jobs. In the Phillies, I think that's what happened when they fired Girardi. The players even said, they were like, yeah, it put the pressure back on us. Like, hey, we're controlling other people's jobs. We've been bad. We got to step up. And they might have had a team meeting. Harper, I'm not sure. Harper seems to be a great leader. And I think all of a sudden it turned. He was like, we've been shit. We got to step up. We're the ones playing, not him. We got to step up and help our managers out. And all of a sudden, they're back in hunt. So sometimes, you gotta point that finger. And I think it used to be that way. And then all sports kind of turning, especially in other sports. We see basketball where it's just, each year they want to go to a different team and be a super team and just kind of play with all the all-stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when it doesn't work because this guy's a bonehead and this one doesn't want to play, and then all of a sudden it's the manager they fire, right? We see it all the time in basketball, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, basketball's the biggest culprit.
But I think we're starting to see that kind of translate into some of these other sports where the players got to be the ones. You just signed a $150 million deal. If I'm a good manager, I'm making a couple $1 million a year, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I love to take that, but you're the one who got to bat 300. I got to just put you in the right spot.
Make sure you are batting 300.
But when you're supposed to be the 4 hitter, and I put you in the 4 spot, and you don't do nothing, that's not my fault. You got to bat the 4 spot, right? You're the 4 hitter. So sometimes it's a little bit of that. And I see a lot of that more recent, where the players kind of are getting not brought to the attention of the issues by the fans so much, or by the media, where it's kind of just like we're just passing it off to the coaches. Well, you're the one striking out on a four-seam fastball right down the middle. I seen that Brewers game yesterday. I think it was Eric Lauer or whatever. He struck out 5 guys in a row at one point, or his last 5 strikeouts. They were literally all fastballs right down the middle. How are we not hitting this guy? He's throwing 93 miles per hour. He's throwing fastballs down the middle.
Like, what's the
Well,
problem?
that's not the manager's fault.
No.
Someone go hit the ball. How are you missing it? It's a fastball down the middle. This guy ain't painting the corners. He literally was right down the middle. You guys go look it up. So someone's got to be like, hey, we're dog shit.
Yeah.
So somebody, hey, hit the ball. Wait, I don't know. Just seems
I get it.
It seems to be more and more, each year we kind of see this. And I get it. Like I said, the manager, I get it. We got to fire them sometimes, send a message. But sometimes I just feel like the players don't get said enough. Well, this guy's batting 200 this year. Juan Soto's batting 226 this year. But it ain't Davey Martinez's fault you're batting 226 and you're supposed to be batting 336.
Yeah. Manager can't have that much of an effect.
So at one point, when do we go, hey, Soto, what's going on, buddy?
Right.
We're going to start pointing fingers at you now, right? When does that happen?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're at the plate and you're trying to hit the ball. So the manager can't take the bat and hit the ball for you.
Yeah, and then go ahead, because if David Martinez bats Juan Soto sixth, all hell breaks loose. You have to bat him to 2-3 hole, right? That's what he do. So you put him in a 2-3 hole, and then he doesn't perform. Well, that's your fault.
Yeah,
Not
right.
like I'm batting you ninth and you're batting 350. He's like, okay, well, I'm just an idiot.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
There's no point. Yeah, I think that there needs to be more accountability on the players' part. Not that they take the full blame, because there is a level that the manager needs to gel with his own team and bring a positive, vibe to the team and kind of make it a cohesive unit. That's what the manager brings, and pushes the right buttons, makes sense of the lineup.
It's just it's a push and pull.
Right.
With the managers and the coaches and the players, right? Mm-hmm. And it's more of a, I don't know if it's 50-50. I don't know. I wouldn't say, it's 50-50 or it's 65-50. I don't really know the percentage. But right now it just feels like the manager coaching side is
it's slipping a little.
Getting pulled on a little harder. And the players are like, it's okay. We'll go punch this guy over here and make sure he gets you going.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, hey, we're going to yell at him, but we're going to also yell at you. Mm-hmm. Like a little...
Yeah, a little of both,
So it just feels like if it was 50-50, right now it's not 50-50. It's 60-something, 40, It's like, okay, well, which is, again, just changes the game, but I think we just got to watch that, because I think the Phillies are a great example of what happened when the players got a little pressure put on them. And then we see the Angels, what happened when you get rid of your manager, thinking that was the problem, and the Angels have literally dysfunction at its finest, and all the major sports.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever sport you want to talk about, the football Giants and their dysfunction at times, or the Raiders or the Jets, because there's been some teams there, the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Angels are at that.
Yeah.
The Angels are mightily at the dysfunction of any of them other franchises we've seen in the last couple of years. Hockey, I don't really know. Hockey franchise dysfunction, I don't know, the Whalers or something.
Yeah, right.
Basketball's like the Pistons, right? I mean, just dysfunction's at an all-time high. The Angels have some of the most talent in any sport.
Yeah.
And they are just dysfunction. I mean, terrible. Then you put the pressure on the managers and on the coaching staff, and that didn't work.
Right.
So it's like, okay, well, now what do we do? There hasn't been a thing said about the players yet. We haven't seen a report. So it's like, okay, well, you said it was their fault. Obviously, it wasn't their fault. So now you're going to come out and say it's the players' fault? Well, now, what the hell?
Yeah, right.
Who else wants to go manager if it's always my fault?
Yeah. Who's going to want to take that job? Exactly. Just have the blame game played on you, you know.
When I have Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, Anthony Rendon, Jared Walsh, I mean, we want to keep going?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. And these guys got to, and that is a perfect example, because you have Anthony Rendon, who can't stay healthy or play well when he's on the field.
But he has no problem chirping and starting to fight.
Right.
And fighting. You're betting 100, so how about you get a hit, and then maybe you start fighting?
Yeah, there's only so much a manager can do about that. You have Trout and Ohtani. They're playing good. You don't worry about them. You have Jared Walsh, But, as a team, there needs to be some agency put on the players. They're big boys. They're the major leaguers. They can handle criticism. They know how to play the game. Or at least they should.
They're getting paid multi-millions, while the manager's getting paid, crumbs compared to those guys.
The manager is the glue that puts it all together, whereas the players are the pieces where if you're missing a piece, kind of hard to put the puzzle together.
The manager he'll take the blame. He'll take the punches.
Oh, yeah.
The coaching staff will take the punches. But, sometimes you got to take a punch for your coaching staff and then help him out, too. And right now, I just don't see that give and take right now.
Mm-hmm.
A little more giving from the managers and a lot more taking from the players on the finger pointing side,
and
which is harmful.
Yeah, I agree. To put it on to make the argument that the manager does make, because the manager does make a difference, because we're not just saying that the players are the only ones there, but look at the Red Sox in 2012, 2013, that area. They had Bobby Valentine, and they were the worst team in the league, and then they got Alex Cora and they won the World Series. So sometimes just making a shift like that in management does make a difference, but it's not it's not 100% that. It's not 100% the players. There's even some percentage that goes into just the coaching staff. Hitting coach, pitching coach, assistant coaches, bench coach, GMs. I mean, just the organization as a whole. If you have an organization that just doesn't spend money and leaves a GM with slim pickings, there's only so much you can expect out of certain players.
Like that.
I know, yeah. But yeah, I think there needs to be a little bit of a split there, and I don't think that the manager can always be the scapegoat.
Yeah.
They can't always be like, look at this year. Perfect example, like you talk about the Yankees. Aaron Boone was like just. Yeah, people wanted his head. They wanted him out, and now look, he's still the manager with more or less the same team, and they are the best team in baseball, probably quite a bit as far as the record.
Possibly going into the year a less talented team.
Yeah, I mean arguably, yeah. Right? So, you can't just say, oh, it was just Aaron Boone, we figured it out. It's like, well, no, he's still there, and you big boys that play the game figured it out.
The guys who were supposed to bat 250, 260 are at least hitting close to that. Instead of batting, I'm a 300 hitter and I'm batting 110, Joey Gallo, right?
Right. And you look at the Dodgers, Dave Roberts is not a good manager, and they're just fine. So, let's be honest.
Well, the Padres are right in between.
Yeah.
Last year was a befuddlement, and all of a sudden you get Bob Melvin, and they're right in the hunt.
Yeah. Yeah, and
look what the Giants did with Gabe Kapler, and everyone knows Gabe Kapler wasn't a good manager, and then with the Phillies at least, and then he goes to the Giants, and they win 110 games out of absolutely nowhere. So yes, the manager and coaching staff does a lot, they can, but the players, it's also that philosophy of coming in like, hey, it's on you, you're the one stepping in the box.
Yeah.
Just because I bad you second, bad you third, that ain't gonna be the reason why you. As a 2-hitter, I'm a 200 hitter. As a 3-hitter, I'm a 300 hitter. Well, you hit the damn ball.
Right. I'm not the reason that you ran into an 8-5 triple play.
Yeah, or I'm the reason why, Joey Gallo, you haven't touched the ball since, you haven't literally made contact with the ball since the end of May. Yeah. I mean, someone else is at fault here.
Right. So. Yeah. So I agree. I think there needs to be more accountability put on the players, but I don't know. I feel like the coaching staff and managers are always a scapegoat. It always seems to be that way. Yeah. Anymore, at least.
And like I said, it happens. But internally, reporting, I just feel like, hey, at some point, it's, you suck.
Yeah, like you gotta...
Rendon, you're batting 200 this year, and you got more hits lefty, you got righty. You suck.
And to not keep beating a dead horse, but I think Joey Gallo and Chris Davis are perfect examples because multiple reports for Chris Davis, of course, came out. But even Joey Gallo in a lot of his reports says, I'm not a single hitter, I'm not this, I'm not that. Yeah. And he's not even trying to be.
I wish I could be more like LeMahieu. You can be.
Yeah.
Cut your swing down, let's change it, let's go back to square one.
Yeah.
And we'll go back from there.
Yeah, so it's...
But no, you don't want to. You just want to I hope you just swing, and all of a sudden they throw the ball right down the middle and you get home runs. And
play the analytical game.
Yeah, it's really working. You're analytically not going to get a hit as many times as a pitcher that stepped in the box.
Right.
There's your analytics.
Yeah, 100%.
The pitcher average last year the hitting pitchers have a higher average than Joey Gallo this year.
Incredible.
So as much as we want to get rid of the pitcher hitting and get a DH, the pitcher hit better than Joey Gallo.
It's a hell of a way to...
So there's your analytics. Someone should really bring them analytics and be like, hey, idiot, you haven't hit the ball since May.
At all.
Jesus Christ.
I know. There needs to be some agency and accountability put on the players, so 100%.
That's when you're supposed to be good. Like Martin Maldonado, he bats 110. They're like, this guy's great.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what they love. That's what they want out of the guy. They want him to bat 110. They're like, we're not here for hitting. Gallo, you're like, hey, get a hit? Mm-hmm. It'd be great.
Yeah, right. Play to the back of your baseball card,
Somebody's, at least.
Somebody's, yeah, right. Yeah. But yeah, I think that there needs to be more accountability for the players, and I think managers will still be scapegoated, but in some cases it's good, some cases it's bad. It's always a case-by-case basis, so it is what it is. Yep. So let's move on to the wrap-up of the news, as we always do. Who's doing the best right now? The Yankees still own the best record in the league at 58-22. While the Astros are behind them in the American League at 52-27. Over in the NL, the Dodgers own the best record at 50-29, with the Mets right on their tail at 50-30. The Yankees own the best run differential in the league at plus 162, and the Nationals own the worst at minus 112.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a few teams floating around that minus 100 run differential. So it's them Royals.
Yeah. Oakland, right?
Oakland, I think, is hovering around there. So there's teams that are around there that you wouldn't be surprised at. So
some teams I want to mention, hot and cold here. Some hot teams: Astros, Mariners, Brewers, Marlins. Marlins only 2 games under 500. Now, let me just give credit to real quick. The Orioles. I believe they're 7 games under 500. They're their first winning month in 5 years.
Yep.
The month of June. I believe they're only 7 games under 500.
And they, the stat I saw, they were 13-9 in their last 22, and the only teams that had better records in that span were like the Dodgers, Red Sox, and Yankees.
It's incredible.
It's awesome.
That's good for them. 7 games. That's competitive. Man, that's in the hunt.
Oh yeah.
And that's not just like, oh, well, at least we're not pushovers. You're in the hunt.
Yeah.
You have a good week here, you're the wild card team. Like,
especially with the expanded playoffs.
Yeah. And then you're gonna go to Baltimore and play at that mess in left field. I mean, good. That's good. That's good. I think there's 7 games.
That's awesome.
The first winning month in 5 years.
I know. That's
5 years since you won. You had one more win than loss. You were 15-15 one month.
Oh my God, that's insane. But good for them.
Yeah, I mean
Pittsburgh
they have been too
bad.
playing relatively. I mean they've been on. I got them on my cold list here because they lost a couple in a row. But the Marlins only 2 games under 500 and winning today.
Yeah, about it.
Yeah, so
Good for them.
But some cold teams here. The Blue Jays have been ice cold here. I think they just got swept by Baltimore, didn't they?
Who
By the Blue Jays? The Blue Jays?
I believe so, or they
got
lost the series.
3-4 to them recently.
Yeah, the Orioles beat them. Yeah,
and the Blue Jays were hot going in.
Yeah, they've been playing better ball, playing good
up
against the Red Sox and stuff. Yeah.
The Angels, of course. The Pirates have been cold. The Giants have just been awful over the last week or so.
Yeah, they're back down to earth finally.
And, the Padres. But I think the Padres, they were missing Machado for quite some time, so he's back. But
he was out for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, not placing the IL. That's
for some
story,
reason.
But, but yeah, there's some teams I got that are hot and cold.
Yeah, that's cool. For the even though the Pirates and Orioles and stuff are technically some of those teams are on the cold list, but the fact that we had them both losing like 110 games almost.
The Pirates, I really thought they could break the record.
Yeah.
There wasn't a guy in the team, more than 3 names on the whole team that were actually good. Pitching wise, I mean, Jose Quintana was the ace coming in, and he's got to be pushing for the All-Star team.
I know, it's amazing. So
this was a team that you could have told me they lost 130 games, and I'd be like, yeah, even then.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good year.
Well, yeah. So I mean, good for those teams to kind of at least put a good product out for the fans. At least make it somewhat so you could watch the game and enjoy yourself.
Players that are here on the team, some of these young guys, like, hey, we do want to win.
Yeah, like we're here, we're
trying.
To
call
but
you guys up and win, but we just know that we're gonna have to do it a different way, which is fine. But hey, show me you're gonna try it.
Yeah.
Instead of just be like, that was
yeah,
like the A's, where it's like, we're gonna win.
That's a mess.
Trust us, and then you ask them what happened. You're like,
that's a whole mess. Them, they're really that's a whole different story at this point. But so let's move on to who's hot and who's not. I don't think I have either of the players of the week. It was Rhys Hoskins and someone else. Was it Benintendi in the AL? Either way, I don't think I have the players of the week, but Rhys Hoskins was the NL one. I don't have him, so I thought I'd worth mentioning that. The hot players of the week I have is number 1, Andrew Benintendi, batted .474 over the last week, with a .526 slugging and a .1071 OPS. Number 2, Nolan Arenado, who you mentioned hit for the cycle. Batted .420. Oh, a weird way to get the cycle. It was like a...
I was say, controversial single.
Yeah.
But he had, I don't know what they... I mean, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, it was weird, but it was like he was already on second, and they were like, oh, it was a single, he got the cycle. It's like, okay. He batted .429 over the last week with a 1,000 slugging and a 1455 OPS. Number 3, Lourdes Gurriel, batted .429 over the last week with a 714 slugging and a 1214 OPS. Number 4, Yandy Diaz, batted .423 over the last week with a 500 slugging and a 1016 OPS. And number 5, Josh Bell, batted .421 over the last week with a 789 slugging and a 1289 OPS.
Yeah, it's a big trade piece right there.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys I got to mention here: Jose Abreu, red hot. Frenchie Cordero, it's been going nuts for Boston. Ian Happ's been hot of late. So there's some guys I just wanted to throw out there. Some pitchers I got: Justin Steele from the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Gosselin's is leading the league in ERA. Luis Castillo's been great since he came back from the injured list. Will Smith picking up a couple saves this last week for the Braves, and Tristan McKenzie for Cleveland at 7 innings, 1 hit.
Pitched great against the Yankees, yeah.
Other than for, I think, 2 starts before that, he was terrible. His season's been really good. He had 2 real bad starts here recently. Otherwise, he's been really having a good year.
Yeah.
We seen him last year go nuts. He almost threw like 3 no-hitters in a row.
Yeah, he's a great pitcher. Yeah. He's got a bright future.
Guy.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, there's some pitchers to mention as well that have been really throwing the ball good over the last 7 to 10 days.
Yeah, for sure. That's like you throw in him and now Christian Javier, who had really impressive outings against the Yankees. I think Christian Javier followed up his outing against the Yankees with
27 strikeouts in 2 starts.
Yeah, he's been really good. And for a guy that really had never really been stretched out and was more of a reliever or a short starter, it's pretty good for him. Then the cold players I have this week are number 1, Seth Brown, batted .091 over the last week with a 136 slugging and a 303 OPS. Number 2, Matt Chapman has really just been pretty disappointing the last 2 years, I'd say. Maybe even 3 years now, I can't remember. Batted .095 over the last week with an .095 slugging and a 220 OPS. Number 3, Miles Straw, batted .059 over the last week with an .059 slugging and a 297 OPS. Number 4, Mike Trout, the weird name to see on the list, batted .067 over the last week with a 133 slugging and a 200 OPS. And number 5, Jan Gomes, batted .071 over the last week with a 143 slugging and a 276 OPS. So those are your cold guys and some big names on there for some of them.
Yeah, some guys I got to add to that cold list. We have Bobby Witt, been cold of late, Rowdy Tellez, and Luis Robert.
That one's weird.
Luis Robert is still having a pretty good year, though.
Yeah.
And if he could really turn it on, I wouldn't be surprised to see him sneak his way into the MVP hunt, because that guy could do a little bit of everything.
That's the thing. He's great defensively. He can steal. He can hit for power.
Yep.
Not much he can't do.
Yep. Some pitchers here that have been struggling. Jorge Lopez, who was doing great for Baltimore. He got beat up here over the last week as their closer, I believe. Hunter Green's pushing the rookie home run record as a pitcher, giving up.
Jesus.
Yeah, when you throw hard like that, you miss up in the zone, guy gets a little contact in Cincinnati, the ball jumps, all of a sudden, see you later.
It's barely July. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Ian Anderson, getting beat up pretty much all year. Kyle Gibson got lit up a little bit, and Dakota Hudson for the Cardinals got lit up here. So there's some cold pitchers as well over the last 7 or 10 days.
Yeah.
The next thing I got here is the injury list. Too crazy? Actually, I think it was a good injury report this week. A lot of guys coming back or on the verge more than going out. We had Ron Maracchio for the Yankees, placed on the IL with shoulder. He 15, 16 consecutive innings without a run.
It was something like that, yeah.
Guy who from our area. Mike faced him growing up, so that's pretty cool. Josh Naylor, day-to-day, that crazy guy.
He's nuts.
Archie Bradley for the Angels. Again, you got to add to Rendon and even Phil Nevin running their mouths to start a fight, and you lose one of your best relievers with a fractured elbow. So nice job, Angels. You're really riding up nice.
Yeah.
It just bothers me with the Angels too, because I'm a team that's been a guy that's been kind of with the Angels, saying, hey, they're getting better. Hey, they're going to make the right moves. Hey, they had a good start to the year. I had money on them. They're going to win the division. And then they come out here and they embarrass everybody.
Yeah.
If you're a baseball fan, you're embarrassed that the Angels play baseball. That's how bad they are. There have been more letdown than the Tigers, more letdown than the Royals, more of a letdown than the Twins last year. They're just an embarrassment to baseball at this point. And the fact that Mike Trout plays out there, Mike Trout doesn't want to be there. See the video with him, the guy tipping pitches, and he was disgusted in center field. And people want to talk about how good Ohtani is, and they're embarrassing because they don't even come close to the playoffs. So maybe step it up, right? Open your mouth if you're Trout and Ohtani, and be like, hey, you guys suck. Or how about that?
Yeah.
It's just frustrating because it is on the team and everything else, but the players got to step up and say something. If I'm Mike Trout, I'm like, you guys all suck. How about that?
Yeah.
Now let's go do something. Jesus Christ. Gosh, they are an embarrassment. They wasted the end of Pujols' career, too.
Yep.
I don't know how healthy he would have been, but any other franchise, you probably finished with 700 home runs, but not that lonely franchise.
Yeah, really.
The fact they play in L.A.
I know. You'd think they'd be,
You'd think that baseball would rig the damn thing for them to be good. It's L.A. Jeez Louise.
I know.
Terrible. But Jorge Soler placed on the IL. Juan Soto day-to-day with a calf injury. He should be fine. Ranger Suarez placed on the IL. Adam Warren. Kirk Casale, oblique injury. Chris Taylor, day-to-day. He's going from some tests. He might be placed in the IL. And Disco Fani came back. Ankle surgery. Gone. See you later. He's done for the year. So that's pretty much it on that side. So nothing too big name-wise.
Yeah.
On the good side, we have Ryan Thompson for the Rays. Activated. Chris Sale, supposed to pitch rehab start, I believe, tomorrow. And the hope is he'll be activated. Miguel Sano starting a rehab assignment. Liam Hendricks and Adam Engel, both activated. Jake Odorizzi activated. Eddie Rosario and Tyler Matzik both back. Joey Wendell activated. Joey Lunchpail, of course. Jacob deGrom pitched in single A. So we'll see him hopefully at the end of July. Max Scherzer's back. Bryce Harper did get thumb surgery, but the expectation is he'll be back in mid-August. So that's actually really good news.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Stevenson should be back sometime this week for the Reds. One of the better hitting catchers. Seiya Suzuki activated, hit an inside the park home run yesterday. And Tatis is slowly climbing his way back into playing baseball for the Padres. So on the good side news, that's a lot of big names and all relatively good news. So this was a really pretty good injury news week, I guess you could say, which is good.
Yeah, for sure. That's like kind of I always say every week you want a better injury list than seeing people out for the year. I think you said Discofani's out for the year, but I guess at this point though, if you're in July and you have a not a major injury but like a moderate injury,
He's been hurt all year too.
Yeah.
So it's almost just a lost season sometimes. You're just like, well, I'm back up, I'm hurt. You know, it's just you're just lost.
Those guys that just have those kind of years, it stinks.
Yeah. So, but the last thing I got is a trivia question. Didn't really know where to go with this, so we seen the other day we seen a guy. I don't remember who exactly it was, but he had like a 50 pitch inning.
Yeah.
So I thought that was weird. So I wanted to go with a trivia question. Since 1988, when pitch count tracking started, what is the most pitches thrown in one inning? And the answer is in July 26, 1999, Cardinals at the Giants. Dusty Baker was the manager. Russ Ortiz threw 62 pitches in one inning.
Good God.
So there's your record. So the most pitches thrown in a single inning by one player is 62 pitches.
God, so much.
I believe they won that game too.
It's even more incredible.
But Dusty Baker was the manager, and I guess that was probably a big reason why he got that aura around him that he beat the life out of pitchers with their arms.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that was probably where it started, or definitely a big reason why he got that.
It definitely didn't help the cause.
62 pitches won. Hey, they won the game.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe it was the right decision,
Yeah, I don't know.
I asked Russ Ortiz. He threw 62 pitches in the second inning. I'm sure he wasn't feeling too good.
No, it's a rough inning.
I mean, he threw 12 pitches in the first inning. All right, I feel pretty good. He threw 62 in the second. I think I'm done.
Yeah, I
think I'll come back for the third. I might throw 100. I might throw 5. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm good for the day. That was all I needed.
Yeah, we bring somebody else in there, Chief.
Yeah, warm someone up, huh?
Yeah, you gotta warm everybody up.
Yeah, at that
called
point.
somebody from the AAA to make it in time. 62 pitches in one inning.
I know, Jesus Christ.
So, but that's a trivia question. So I thought that was just seen something recently with the pitches, a lot of pitches in one inning. So I said, what is the record? I figured it had to be pretty close or pretty recent because no one tracked it for a while. So there's your answer.
I'd like to know if there was some guy in like 1903 that threw like 100 pitches in one inning.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just go ahead, keep going.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
They just forgot how many outs there were. The guy probably got 6 outs that inning, and they're like, that's two outs.
Yeah, bring him in.
Yeah, you only got 2 outs. Like, guy, I just struck 3 guys out in a row.
What do you want from me?
Nah, you keep going, right?
Yeah.
Do 110 pitches in the first inning or something like that, and finished the game.
Yeah,
They went 4 for 4, 4 home runs, triple, and finished the game.
Yeah. Had 450 pitches. It's fine.
Yeah, and by the 5th.
Yeah, by the 5th inning, yeah.
Yeah, he's all right. He
like
pitched in 2 days later, he was on the bump again.
Yeah. Oh, no, the arm's fine, coach. Yeah, no, it's great.
No, you tie your shoes without bending down, that guy.
Yeah. Jesus. All right. Well, that's all I got for this episode, really. Again, it was a pretty eventful week in baseball. Again, I thought it was weird that some teams, I think it was the Angels, Yankees, and I think there were 2 other teams that didn't play on 4th of July. I thought that was strange. Yeah.
The Phillies.
Yeah, of all teams.
I dumbfounded. That really bothered me, too, that they don't play on the 4th of July.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense.
You play baseball on Friday, you play baseball on Saturday, you play baseball on Sunday, right? That's set in stone. Those days you play baseball on.
Mm-hmm.
You play baseball on Labor Day, you play baseball on Memorial Day, you play baseball on Father's Day, you play baseball on Mother's Day, you play baseball on Independence Day.
Yeah.
How freaking hard is that?
I know, it's amazing that, especially big teams, Yankees, Phillies, I mean, come on now.
Yeah, it's just stupid. And then you got, the Pirates and the Yankees, they're wearing their stuff today because they didn't get to play yesterday. Just have them play.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like the holiday's over. I don't get it.
What gets me is you got these teams. We had a shortened schedule or a condensed schedule, right? We missed a week and a half to start the year.
Mm-hmm.
You think, oh man, well, we really fucked the schedule up. We shortened the schedule. Let's make good. Have them play on damn Memorial Day and 4th of July to make up for a game.
Really? I know.
No, let's not have them play. Stupid.
Yeah.
It's just, I couldn't believe that.
I don't understand it, but
I couldn't believe it. Let's have a Super Bowl on Monday next year too.
Yeah, really just shake things up.
Just play the day. I couldn't believe that. That bothered me. That was just stupid.
I agree. I thought it was weird, and they did it for Memorial Day too, so I'm not really surprised. But still, I don't know.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
You got the whole holiday to yourself.
Well, yeah.
And you threw it away.
I don't know.
Day game at a baseball stadium. You got fireworks. It's the holiday. You got the hot dogs going. Joey Chestnut's munching on 70 hot dogs. I mean, just how it goes.
Yeah. It's just, yeah.
And we're sitting home. We can't play baseball today. What the hell's wrong with people?
I know. I don't know
We
what
have
the
fireworks
schedules were
every
thinking.
Friday. It's 4th of July. You got to have a game. We're not playing. It's stupid. Oh, my God. I can't believe that. I just can't believe that. Holy gee.
Doesn't make sense, but that's how it went. And if you're one of the, I guess it was 4, maybe 6 teams that didn't play, it was weird. It was like, oh, the Yankees are off today. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they're off.
All right.
We don't play baseball on Friday either. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. It's just, let's pick a random day.
Yeah, we don't play on the weekend no more.
Yeah.
Sure. No, that makes sense.
But other than that, that's all I kind of had for this episode. Just, hope everyone had a good 4th of July and were able to watch your team. And, not everyone, but,
Watch something at least. You watch Joey Chestnut.
Yeah.
Going nuts.
I would hope, yeah.
15 times.
I know.
Champion.
63 hot dogs?
What a broke foot. Yeah. What a bad foot.
And he broke some guy's neck.
Yeah,
Took that guy down.
Fought the wrestler, protester.
Yeah, there was a guy
In the
put
middle
up a
of
sign.
it,
Yeah.
and it's still won by 20 hot dogs.
Well, yeah.
And hasn't trained much because his foot, he's been broke it, and then he had surgery, and then complications with the surgery. So he's dealing with a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, with him. So he doesn't really train much, but he came in and munched down 63 hot dogs.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to him.
Yeah, hot dogs all over his face.
Yeah.
And something else, I know we're running here on some time, but if you guys have a chance, you got to go watch that Badlands Booker guy.
Oh, I know, chugging that lemonade.
Because last year he did it in 37 seconds, and he wasn't even trying. This year he did it in like 7 seconons. He chugged the whole thing out. That's unbelievable.
I know.
He just takes it, and his chest sticks out past his forehead. He's unbelievable. 500 pounds, and he's just gone.
Yeah. Doesn't
People
matter.
didn't even start yet.
Yeah.
They were sucked out of a straw. This guy just took his whole mouth on there. Gone.
He's awesome.
Unbelievable.
I know. That dude's awesome.
That was impressive.
You have him and Joey Chestnut, and you have endless entertainment.
Yeah, invite them to a barbecue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You never. This guy drinks everything. This guy drinks the cool dry. This guy ate hot dogs before we even got on the grill.
Yeah, you need a keg just for him.
Yeah, they just fill it up with lemonade. This fucking guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just look at him.
Yeah, he makes sense.
Yeah. He used to compete in the hot dog thing.
Oh yeah, just couldn't keep up with Joey Chestnut of all people.
No, so he just decided to go nuts in some lemonade. Those guys, they got donuts, they do, and they have the wing contest and pizza.
It's insane.
But there's no one better than Joey Chestnut.
No,
hot dogs.
Winning 15-time champ.
He won 8 in a row, and then lost, and then won 7 more in a row.
Yeah, it's like the Celtics in the '60s or whatever.
Yeah. He literally has 15 championships at one event.
Yeah.
If you want to, count that as your sporting event or whatever, he's got the most.
Yeah.
15 times.
It's incredible.
Jesus Christ. Eat a hot dog. Incredible event.
Yeah, yeah.
They call him out. They got the crowds going nuts. USA chants, and he's up there just to munch on some hot dogs, Dip them in water like I'm making acid.
And you never assume it either when you look at him. You never really think,
No.
So.
Eating a hot dog like that, I got to put a little mustard on it or something.
Yeah.
This guy's just dipping them in water and munching them down his throat. You're like,
Just throwing them down,
Yeah. Oh, all right. I ate 70 hot dogs today.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Nah. My stomach's fine.
Yeah. It's only 12. It's lunchtime. What the hell's he eating for dinner,
Yeah.
I said 98 wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it took
Or he's
away.
just in a coma for another few days.
I'm sure he takes a gallon of lemonade and chugs that down in 12 seconds, and he's ready to go for the next day.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Shout out to Joey Chestnut. He's awesome.
Yeah.
And Badlands, that guy Badlands.
That
or
guy's
whatever.
incredible.
Yeah. Chugging down lemonade. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's just incredible. You gotta watch that. You go watch that for sure. If you're gonna take your time to go watch him chug down that,
Wow. Yeah.
that lemonade 2 years in a row.
Totally. It's amazing. It's
It's-
incredible human feat.
Yeah, just
I guess you could call it athleticism. I don't even know.
That's just peak.
peak male specimen.
He drinks that lemonade. It's incredible. That was one of the. I'm like, damn, we got to talk about this a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, I drank some lemonade, and then the hot dogs. It's like this. No. This
Yeah,
guy
what
just
about this guy?
This guy just emptied the lemonade machine into his mouth.
Literally.
In 7 seconds. Like what? It's incredible.
It's awesome. But
Watch it every year.
yeah.
Every year, 12 o'clock, I turn that on and watch him eat the hot dogs. And now, last 2 years, it's him go to town with some lemonade. And God, it makes me want to go cook a hot dog.
Yeah, really.
I'm not going to eat it like that.
That doesn't get you fired up for 4th of July. I don't know what will.
Yeah, it fires you right up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get you going for your barbecue. That's for sure. Look what I learned.
Yeah.
Eat this freaking hot dog right here.
Yeah, check this party trick out.
yeah. Just chug down the gallon of lemonade, so none of the kids have nothing to drink. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, guy.
Thanks
Who
for
brought this
ruining
guy?
that. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, on that note, like I said, that's all I had for this episode. Like I said, hope everyone had a good 4th of July and chugged down some hot dogs and some lemonade. So, but yeah, that's all I got. Unless you got anything else, you can wrap this one up.
No, that's it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. You can catch this podcast on Apple Podcasts as well as Google Podcasts and Spotify. You can listen on our regularly updated YouTube channel as well as our website, screwball.podbean.com. You can follow me on Twitter at RealMikeLepre. You can follow me on Instagram at Mike Lepre.
And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at ftubs10.
You can follow our official Screwball Twitter at ScrewballPod. You can follow our official Screwball Facebook at ScrewballPod. No E in Screw. And that's it from us, guys. We'll see you next week.
Yep, take care.